Uh-oh, what's going on, y'all? It's the Kim Brown show. Psych, that's not what the show is called. The show is called Burn It Down with Kim Brown, the safe space where we set a pressure to blaze. I'm sitting here trying to look into the chat. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's fine. We're gonna figure that shit out later. Anyway, y'all, we got a good show in store for y'all tonight. Come on in here. Come on in, go. Come on, get a seat. Get a seat. We got plenty of space. Plenty of space. Plenty of space. Down front, in the middle, and in the back. Grab your seat, dap everybody up, daps and hugs. Maybe that's how we should start the show off, with daps and hugs. What y'all think? I used to love, when I was in my late teens, early adult age, the way I would keep dudes from where my hug at. The way I would keep them where my hug at niggas at bay is that what's up, my dog? What's up? What's up? I was notorious for dapping up men. Why would I dap the mandem up? Because I did not want no hugs from the fucking mandem. So but then you had them niggas that would come and override my dap, right? Nah, I don't dap up females. Come here, give me a hug. Jesus God. They find a way. They find a way to thwart even your best efforts not to be touched by these motherfuckers. It's like, God damn, I'm sitting here trying to be nice to these niggas and give them daps and shit. No, I don't dap up females. Let me get my hug. Nigga, if you don't get your... Anyway. Sometimes I get triggered. Sometimes I trigger myself. Remembering all of the fucking chicanery that I used to tolerate that I no longer tolerate, which is why everybody, because I'm labeled a difficult woman. That's fine. I'm gonna be difficult, but guess what? You niggas ain't hugging me if I don't want no goddamn hug. That's important. Bodily autonomy. Ain't that right, kids? Let's get it. Anyway, come on in, y'all. Welcome to the program. Thank you all so much for coming out. We got a good show in store for y'all tonight. At the end of the show, y'all, I want to take a moment to address something that I'm not 100% clear on, but because I am who I am, born under the sun sign that I was born under, I'm a big believer in loyalty. You know, respect, loyalty, yes, like, and somebody has fucked with and crossed the line, in my opinion, with one of our Fire Fam members. I don't want to get into that at the end of the show. I'm gonna save that. But I definitely want to mention it. maybe address is not the right word, because I think I need to be apprised of far more details to quote address the thing. But I think I can mention the shit, and I just like to get on the record, because I'm a loyal motherfucker, and this person, our Fire Fam member who has been trifled with, is loyal. And I'm loyal. So I want to show some loyalty. We're going to show loyalty at the end of the show. Big Teal, you know what the fuck I'm talking about out here. Maybe Big Teal don't know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we'll get to that shit a little later. Couple things I want to get to. What am I going to talk about tonight on the show? Well, the situation in the Middle East keeps going somewhat from bad to worse. Ain't no somewhat. If you're Palestinian, that shit is going from worse to terrible, right? And here in the US, and I'm not sure how this is playing in other Western nations, but in the US, the media and the government are in lockstep behind the narrative of Hamas terrorists, Israel's, here because they have a right to defend themselves, and all the, little tentacles that come out from those, very narrow storylines, right? But there have been some things that have been straight out disproven as propaganda coming from the Israelis, and I just wanted to point some of those things out, just so anybody that is watching this who may still be confused is a little less confused. And this is from my layperson observations. I ain't no goddamn expert out here. You know what I'm saying? I just have the power of discernment. You feel me? Like, I can look at some shit and tell some shit is some bullshit, right? You're like, no. That don't even sound right. Like Judge Judy said. These are the people I listen to. Like Judge Judy say, if it doesn't make sense, then it's probably not true, right? That is a universal logic applicable standard. If it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true, which I have found holds a lot of times. I want to get into that a little later. Before I get started, let me say what's up to the Chris. And see, some of y'all is some names that I don't recognize. So y'all know how I be. I'm skeptical, number one. Dubious, number two. Who are these new niggas? I don't know these motherfuckers. Are you friend or foe, bitch? Put friend. Speak friend. If you are friend, speak friend into the chat. If you are foe, maybe my mods will come and see about you. Shout out to the mods, by the way. Big up to the good sister Court blessed us today with some Cash App support, and she said it's for Brigitte's quinceañera. If you guys did not know, I have a geriatric pit bull. Her name is Bagheera, named after the Black Panther from the Jungle Book. I cannot claim credit for naming her, by the way. It is just the coolest fucking name for a dog, Bagheera. And next month, November 15th, Bagheera will be 15. So I'm going to throw her a doggy quinceañera. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Baggy. Thank you guys for the Baggy love. Bagheera is, oh my God. Y'all, if I could show y'all how fucking hard-headed this dog is, how she's like, bitch, I am 100. I try to tell Bagheera to do, come on, Baggy, let's go outside, pee. Let's do this, let's do that. Bagheera look at me like, bitch, I'm 100. Like, what the fuck? What do you want from me? Well, at minimum, Bagheera, I would like some respect. I would like a tiny bit of obedience. But no, at 15, she has given up fully on any obedience. I can barely get cooperation out of Bagheera at this point in her life. So, there's that. God damn it. I don't want to look at portraits. I want to look at the screenshot that I just took so I can read the shit. Because somebody just ran us some bucks. Speaking of, like I said, thank you so much to Courtney for your Cash App support, baby girl. Thank you, Court. And to Latif, our mods, our wonderful mods. Shout out to Chuck Diesel as well. What's up? Hey, Matthew. Thank you so much for your support, bro. What you say here, Matthew? Matthew says, burning one Friday night and saying, free Palestine. Let's get it. Thank you, Matthew. Matthew Siegfried. Matthew, we appreciate your support. And yes, we stand with that sentiment, free Palestine. You guys, come on in, give the video a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed already. And y'all, President Joe Biden made a one-day trip to Israel to stand shoulder to shoulder with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on the same day that Israel blew up a Palestinian hospital, killing hundreds of Palestinians, including children. The death toll amongst Palestinian children, I believe now, is approaching 2,000. And yes, there are casualties on both sides. But let's be clear, the October 7th Hamas response was due to generations and many decades of Israeli atrocities being committed against the Palestinian people and the subsequent progressive, constant, unending theft and stealing of Palestinian lands and Palestinian homes. Okay. The settlers, the Israeli settlers, exactly like the European settlers of this continent 300 and 400 years ago, right? The settler, colonialist, yes. I'm sorry. No, I hit y'all with an ear doctor pronunciation. My bad. The settler colonialist project state, as it applies to what's happening in the state of Israel, is still very much on and popping. And America, being the terrible figure it is in the globe. Honestly, America by itself is probably the biggest global sponsor of terrorism. I know America likes to point fingers at Iran and point fingers at Hezbollah and point fingers at Russia. No, nigga, America, the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, the biggest sponsors of terrorism in the globe. Um, and if you don't believe me, look at America's track record around the globe. But let's say the past 50 fucking years. So where y'all want to start? Korea? You want to start Vietnam? Where you want to go? You want to go to Iraq? You want to go to Afghanistan? You want to go to Libya? Like where we going? All I see is failures. All I see is American bombs being dropped thousands of miles away from the shores of America, and the world not being no safer. America seems pretty safe, but then, America's such a fucked up place. America is eating itself up from the inside, right? We don't even need nobody to come attack us. America's crumbling from the inside, right? And much like the empires, the imperialist empires of yore, right? The Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, the Ottoman Empire. America's right there on the precipice of falling the fuck down. Why is it going to fall the fuck down? Well, number one, it needs to fall down because it's evil. It claims to be a Judeo-Christian nation, and it does nothing Judeo-Christian around the world except blow shit up. Yeah. But also an empire that is trying to maintain its influence and strongholds many thousands of miles away from its own shores is an empire that is weak, and an empire that is set to crumble. Joe Biden reinforced this to me very clearly in his speech from the Oval Office once he returned back from Israel. Again, standing shoulder to shoulder with the Israeli regime after they blew up a hospital in Palestine. That's the shit that Joe Biden stands for. That's who America's allies are, people who blow up fucking hospitals. And it didn't shock me that Israel blew up this hospital, though they have disputed this. We're going to get into that in just a little bit later on in the show. But America blows up hospitals. America blows up sensitive targets everywhere. And somebody would say, well, Russia does this shit too. Well, all these empires. Russia is an imperialist fucking nation too. All these imperialist goddamn nations blow up sensitive targets like hospitals. And they all need to fall, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's start with the U.S. But anyway, I want us to listen to Joe Biden. Will, if you could get that Biden clip queued up for me. And it was most peculiar, not unusual, but I thought it was really telling, right? Here in the US, where our food prices, our housing prices, our public education, like our public health care system, there's a lot of pillars in the US that are weak and crumbling. And so for Joe Biden to address the American people last night from the Oval Office and make the request that he did, I thought sounded the death knell for the US. And I want to come back and explain what I mean by that. But Will, if we could, let's take a listen to Joey B, and I'll tell you when to cut it. Thank you.
Budget request to fund America's national security needs, to support our critical partners, including Israel and Ukraine, is a smart investment that's going to pay dividends for American security for generations. Help us keep American troops out of harm's way. Help us build a world that is safer, more peaceful, more prosperous for our children and grandchildren. In Israel, we must make sure that they have what they need to protect their people today and always. The security package I'm sending to Congress and asking Congress to do is an unprecedented commitment to Israel's security that will sharpen Israel's qualitative military edge, which we've committed to, the qualitative military edge. We're going to make sure Iron Dome continues to guard the skies over Israel. We're going to make sure other hostile actors in the region know that Israel is stronger than ever and prevent this conflict from spreading. Look, at the same time, President Netanyahu and I discussed again yesterday the critical need for Israel to operate by the laws of war. That means protecting civilians in combat as best as they can. The people of Gaza urgently need food, water, and medicine. Yesterday, in discussions with the leaders of Israel and Egypt, I secured an agreement for the first shipment of humanitarian assistance from the United Nations to Palestinian civilians in Gaza. If Hamas does not divert or steal these shipments, we're going to provide an opening for sustained delivery of life-saving humanitarian assistance for the Palestinians. As I said in Israel, as hard as it is, we cannot give up on peace. We cannot give up on a two-state solution. Israel and Palestinians equally deserve to live in safety, dignity, and peace. And here at home, we have to be honest with ourselves. In recent years, too much hate has given too much oxygen, fueling racism, the rise of anti-Semitism, Islamic phobia, right here in America. It's also intensified in the wake of recent events that led to the horrific threats and attacks that both shock us and break our hearts. On October 7th, terror attacks have triggered deep scars and terrible memories in the Jewish community. Today, Jewish families worried about being targeted in school, wearing symbols of their faith, walking down the street, or going out about their daily lives.
I wish for the amazing new iPhone
Yeah,
15
yeah, yeah.
Pro.
You can kill that.
Sean.
Yeah, turn that off. Thank you, Will. That's fine. That's enough of that. That's plenty of Biden. But no, the point of that clip that I wanted to drive home was the fact that he is going to Congress to ask Congress for more billions of dollars to support not only Israel, the war in Ukraine, but also to send more military support to Taiwan to strengthen the Indo Pacific allegiance between Taiwan and the US, to piss off China. By the way, this week I saw a piece of propaganda coming from NBC News, coming from the State Department that showed that the Chinese Air Force had brushed US fighter jets like within, dozens of feet. And I'm like, where though, nigga? In the Sea of China? And the Chinese are behaving recklessly on the air, in the air, in the skies. Like, nigga, y'all are in their backyard popping off, right? Flying jets, running the naval destroyers and shit. What you think China's supposed to be cool with that shit? You think China's supposed to just go for that and not even come see what the fuck's going on? Come on now. Like again, this infantilization of the American people about what the global power dynamics are. This whole America first nonsense that basically Biden is espousing there in different ways than Trump. But regardless, hold on, let me get my shit back together. Hold on. Let's get back to what Biden says. So he's going to go ask Congress for another $100 billion+ to support Israel and Ukraine. First of all, let's be clear. The Obama administration earmarked $38 billion for Israel to the tune of $3.8 billion annually for 10 years. Okay. That deal, when was that deal signed? I want to say 2015, 2014, somewhere. There might have even been 2016, but we're still within that 10-year deal, right? So Israel has been getting at least $3.8 billion for the US for the last half a decade. Yeah. Also, but I think there's additional funding that the U.S. Congress earmarks annually to the tune of $1 billion. This is $1 billion additional dollars to Israel for the maintenance of the Iron Dome missile defense system, right? So basically, America has financed, paid for the Israeli military, right? And it's like, as America crumbles, as these schools fall apart, as these water filtration systems collapse, as salt water comes up from the Mississippi and is finding its way into the plumbing and the homes of people who live in Louisiana. I mean, I could go down the list of American infrastructure problems at the least, right? America is propping up wealthy Israel, okay? Israel is a wealthy nation. They got money, and you know it. Take it out your pocket and show it. Throw it. Like, Israel don't need our help. They don't need billions of dollars from us, but they get it, okay? Ukraine, we have sent, I want to say maybe 100 billion plus to Ukraine, maybe more than that, to make sure that they are able to not get wiped off the map, I suppose, by Russian forces. And again, Taiwan, all that is some colonialist shit going on too. I don't know what the fuck Taiwan want, but regardless, China don't want that shit. So, and Taiwan is in China's backyard. So y'all know big bang take little bang. That's just how I go, right? But the United States can't keep this up indefinitely, right? I think that now we are 2 to 3 generations in, the boomers, the Gen Xers, the millennials, all of us saw what the fuck happened in Iraq and Afghanistan, okay? That was our healthcare got spent up trying to remove Saddam Hussein and install democracy in Iraq, trying to remove the Taliban and bring democracy into Afghanistan. $2 trillion. That was our healthcare, y'all. That was our infrastructure. That was our climate change, retrofitting for the country to prepare for the coming climate disasters and environmental changes. That was Flint's water fixing problem. That was Jackson, Mississippi's water fixing problem. I think to fix the water system in Jackson, Mississippi is $2 billion. We spent $2 trillion in Afghanistan. We try to send another $100 billion to Ukraine and Israel. This is unsustainable. Okay. The United States cannot continue to pour all of its treasure into maintaining U.S. hegemony across the globe. It's gonna, they gonna do that. But whether or not they are successful in that, I think largely depends on us and what we do. And honestly, I would like to see another January 6th type of situation happen, but with better principles and motivations behind it, right? Like, imagine if January 6th was a principled fucking rushing of the US Capitol and had all them Congress people on the run scared for their life for some principled shit, not because of some petulant pseudo billionaire trying to act like he won the election and he didn't, but regardless. So here's another example that I want to play. Will, if you could cue up this CNBC clip for me. So as you see, Joe Biden, unconcerned about how student loan, well, not say he's not concerned, but the Biden administration is not serious about really erasing student loan debt. They've had plenty of time to do this and to figure out a better plan that maybe would withstand a legal challenge in the courts. Getting the country prepared for climate catastrophes. Nope, we're not ready for that. Nope, we're not shoring up the schools. Nope, we're not shoring up our healthcare system. As we see lots of nurses and healthcare workers take to the picket lines across the country, right? We have been monitoring these nurses strikes in particular with some regularity, and they have been going pretty strong. So all of the institutions, all of the pillars, our education system, our healthcare system, and many others, all these things are getting ready to collapse. But America, instead of focusing on the homeland, and I'm talking about in ways that benefit everybody, not that bullshit border protection, trying to deny legitimate asylum seekers the opportunity to come to this country and do what they are legally entitled to do, and that is seek asylum here in the U.S. I'm not talking about that kind of shoring up of the homeland, but I mean is to shore up the pillars that make a society, right? And instead of doing that, the United States is ready to fund more wars. And if you don't believe me, listen to what Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told a CNBC reporter and what they reported when Janet Yellen was asked, can the United States afford two wars? I'm assuming the first war would be the war in Ukraine. Can the United States afford two wars should the U.S. decide to enter this entanglement with Israel? I'm assuming that is predicated on whether or not Iran perhaps enters the fray. But take a listen as to what Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary under the Joe Biden administration, told a CNBC reporter.
I started by asking her whether there are any conditions attached to America's support for Israel, given the unfolding humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Her answer to that was very clear. She said, quote, America stands behind Israel, period. I also asked her whether America could afford to support two foreign wars at the same time, and a similarly clear answer to that, absolutely. And this was why she said absolutely.
The American economy is doing extremely well. Inflation has been high, and it's been a concern to households. It's come down considerably. At the same time, we have about the strongest labor market we've seen in 50 years with 3.8% unemployment. We've seen a burgeoning of investment, especially in manufacturing, an industrial renaissance in the United States.
But what the fuck does that got to do with the United States having the ability to pay for another war? And that's kind of the point, right? how many times have y'all heard Pac paraphrased here? You know what I'm saying? We got money for war, but can't feed the poor. That is real shit. Like, can you imagine all the ways, if you think about, especially if you live in an urban area, think about all the way. I'm thinking specifically about Baltimore, Maryland right now. Will could probably co-sign to this shit. Will, all the ways in which Baltimore is fucked up from an infrastructure perspective, from the pipes to the streets to the lights to the schools run it down. Like, America is crumbling right now, and this chick Janet Yellen, and she know, by the way, she's aware. No, we don't have no money to fix Baltimore. We don't have no money to fix the water treatment system in Jackson. We don't have no money for the migrants. We can't house all these migrants. Eric Adams says New York City's about to go bankrupt because we can't handle all the migrants who want to come here and contribute to the fucking economy, by the way. No, we don't have the money. We don't have the money. We don't have the money. Hold on. But if we start a war in Israel, oh no, we got money for that. The fuck? What? What? Y'all, how long are we going to live under this madness? How long are we going to live under this insanity? America ain't faring well when entering wars in the 20th century, right? Didn't I see who was it? It was the niggas this morning on EYL. Was that EYL? I was watching a lot of Jerry Ball content today. I can't remember. Was it EYL? Anyway, but they was talking about the war. Somebody was talking about the fucking war. I think it was Jerry. And they was like, yo, fucking America is goddamn like 0 for 5. Like the fast 5 choice. America ain't won a war since World War II, my nigga. 1946. What? Cut it the fuck out. We, as the citizens of this country, are tired. We are exhausted. We are war weary. Okay? I am here to support the Palestinians, the people of Palestine, in the ways that I am able. And I'm not even 100% sure. I don't know how. I haven't even figured that out yet, in the ways that we can support Palestine beyond extending our support with our voices, right? But no, I vehemently disagree with the propping up of the Israeli state from the U.S. I disagree with U.S. military resources being used to intimidate other nations in that region right now. Like, I disagree with this shit. And the thing is, one of two things is going to have to happen here. America's going to need its ass beat in a war, right? Or here, stateside, we have to scare the fuck out of our elected officials the way them crackers did on January 6th. Sent them scurrying through the halls of Congress like the rats that they are, right? We got to scare the shit out of these people. I'm not saying threats. Let me be clear, YouTube. Don't in the stream, YouTube. I'm not suggesting actually threatening our Congress people. Well, not so unlike what happened on January 6th. Maybe a little bit like January 6th. But for principles, for righteousness, not for this fucking, white supremacy, egomaniacal nonsense. But y'all, like, I don't see how we can keep this up. Like, I just vehemently oppose all of this. And trust me, another indicator that America is crumbling from the inside, and if you don't believe me, check out all the coverage surrounding the Speaker of the House election or non-election. When I checked at noon today, chat, I'm looking at you right now. Give me the update. What happened? Did they elect Jim Jordan, or they told Jim Jordan to kick fucking rocks like for the fourth time, as I imagine? What happened? How did that? Because I had to stop looking. But that's the thing. I don't give a fuck. You're a big deal. Come on now. I think it's more hilarious that the Republicans clearly cannot govern. Like, y'all niggas, it's 1st and 10. Y'all keep getting the first down, and then now it's 3rd and long. Y'all motherfuckers can't score. Y'all done had the ball. Great field position. Goddamn Republicans can't do shit with the ball, right? Even when they got possession of the ball, they don't do clock management. They don't do fucking nothing right. Niggas keep getting killed with penalties. These niggas is terrible. They can't govern, and I love it. I love to see it, and I love it. Again, it's another indication that the political The pillar of the political institution is crumbling in this country because for the first time in America's history, they can't get a Speaker of the House together, y'all. That means the legislative branch is basically ineffective, impotent, if you will, right? A bunch of lip dicks. That sounds, I like that. Oh yes, I mean I don't like that, but I'm saying I like how that sounds. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. Let me straighten up here. A bunch of impotence, yes, coming out of the legislative branch, y'all. That's wonderful. As this government grinds to a halt, they can't even get shit done. They can't even get their fuckery done, right? Joe Biden can't get that $100 billion, military aid request through the goddamn Congress if them niggas can't even sit down and elect a speaker. That's good news. That's America eating itself up from the inside. We don't even have to push the country down the steps, y'all. The country's falling down all by itself. And I want to say this real quick because my mama was here yesterday. And y'all, what happens? What happens when I hang around my mother, y'all? Y'all know what happens when I hang around my mother. What? Yes, I got to listen to Al Sharpton. And Al Sharpton is sounding like the house Negro of house Negroes. Like, I don't know what happened to Fat Al, Tracksuit Al. I mean, I guess he still got the perm. I'm talking about when he had the curls, you know what I'm saying? He had the flowy perm, right? That nigga is gone. Like, that nigga has got him a nice check, got him a good little cushy gig, and that nigga is out of here, right? And I know my comrades on BPM would refer to him as criminal informant number 9 or whatever. I'll let them inform y'all about all that. But Al Sharpton basically was trying to make the point that, if the house is on fire, talking about the country, right? If the house is on fire and we as black people in the basement, like, we have to put out the fire or else the house is going to fall on us. And it was like, sir, like, is that how our enslaved ancestors felt? When the Revolutionary War was being fought and other wars, the French and Indian War, like all these different colonial era wars, like, who do you think the enslaved Africans were rooting for? I'm sure they was rooting for everybody to fucking lose. They wanted if England and France and the Dutch, if all 3 of them could lose at the same time, they'd have been rooting for the colonizers to lose. It is so disappointing to hear black people so deeply invested in the success of America. And their response would be like, well, aren't we here? Don't we live here? Yeah, but you don't enjoy none of the perks of fucking America. All the constitutional rights, all the freedoms, all the cool shit is for the whites. Okay? And not even just for the whites, for the rich whites. Right? Like, all the perks about America, you don't even get to enjoy them shits properly. So, and why the fuck would we want to prop up and make sure and be invested in the success and the ongoing existence of this country when they are propping up fucked up people like Zelensky in Ukraine, who's a Nazi, propping up Israel, the state of Israel, right? Who is committing genocide against Palestine. All of the atrocities committed in Iraq, all of the atrocities committed against the Libyan people, and all of the countries on the continent that all of us are not all super well versed in, but we're aware that if there's fuckery involved on the continent, America's not far behind. Like, this country by itself is the single most driver of terrorism. This country by itself is the single most driver of pollutants I know people will be like, well, China and India pollute a lot. Yeah, but who's been industrialized longer? We have. We have put far more pollutants in this atmosphere than China, Russia, India. They got a long way before they catch up with us, okay? And they are emulating our model, our capitalist, pollutant, disgusting, no respect for the earth, for the land, for the water, for the soil, for the air. That's us. We set that model, that foundation, right? I don't want America to succeed. America is driving us to the end of humanity and existence. Israel is dropping American-made bombs on these people. Those nuclear weapons, American nuclear weapons that Israel has, right? Like, so this country alone as a force, as a record label, right, is the one that is driving us humans and other species to the brink of extinction here. So tell me again why I want America to win. I don't. And so when Joe Biden and Janet Yellen reassure us that there is not money for life, there is not money to clean the ocean, there's not money to fix the water systems in this country so that people can have access to clean drinking water. When they tell us there's no money for housing, there's no money for healthcare, but they got plenty of money for war, you signed in your own death warrant, America. Your commitment to killing, maiming, bombing, murdering, genociding, your centuries-long dedication to this ultimately will be your undoing. And God willing, I might be here to see it. And is the shit gonna be hard? Yes, no doubt. But like the last poets tell us, and this is for you, Al Sharpton, niggas are scared of revolution. And I don't know why niggas are scared of revolution, because revolution ain't nothing but change. And all niggas do is change. So let's not be scared of what the after of America will be. In fact, let's make sure that we are educated, emboldened, and ready to make what comes next. I'm not going to let a fear of the unknown dictate a lack of imagination about the possibilities that could be. I can see past this current iteration of this colony. I could see a more equitable nation that is a legitimate force for good in the world. But this here ain't it. And for everybody who thought America was going to fall down when Trump got elected, it's Biden. It's Biden. Joe Biden's absolutely not supposed to be the president. And the fact that he is the president tell me that America is down bad. And I'm with that shit. Let me take a break. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up? I was listening to some Missy Elliott before I came on this joint. I was listening to She's a Bitch. You know, I got my son. There go my son, Tyler. Tyler, you know I got hyped when Missy played that She's a Bitch. Oh, yes. See, I got more cheese back on up while I roll up my sleeve. She's a bitch. You can't see me, Joe. Get on down while I shoots my flow. She's a bitch. Got the face on fire. Burn it down the flame. It's like, now, you know I'm 45. I don't even know the goddamn words no more. Ain't that something? That's what happens. That's what happens, by the way. Oh, you 30-somethings. Oh, y'all think y'all can remember shit, huh? Give about 5-10 more years. Y'all gonna be sounding like y'all aunties and uncles and can't remember shit. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Lady Alex, thank you so much for coming through. KNS. Oh, DJ Vesper X in the building. What's up, Vesper? What's up, Northern Witch DD? Ignomia. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it one day, baby. Hit me up on Tuesday. I'm gonna say that shit perfect. Watch. Chichi Macha's in the building. Big Teal's in the building. Franny Francais in the building. Donnie's in the building. Guys, do me a favor. If you all want to support the channel, hit the like button, please, and thank you. Subscribe to the channel. I thought I had something else to say. Oh, Black Magic. Thank you so much for tagging me on this on Twitter. The Baltimore Abortion Fund, guys. But the Baltimore Abortion Fund is an abortion fund that we have supported here on this channel before. They made a call out that they needed to raise $25,000, I believe, in 48 hours. Because here on October the 20th, they have already exhausted their funds for the month that they use to help match people who are in search of abortion care with services. And that's really telling to me because you guys, as you all know, well, and for those who live outside of America, let me remind you that women are second-class citizens in America. Women do not have bodily autonomy in America. Women in half the states in this country can't dictate their own health care. especially when it comes to pregnancy, right? So where I live, the state of Maryland, very progressive state, especially when it comes to abortion access, has been receiving a lot of people seeking abortion services, especially coming from the South and coming from, I guess, parts West. People in West Virginia come right next door to Maryland if they need to seek abortions. I told you guys abortion is on the ballot, though not formally on the ballot in Virginia. It kind of is on the ballot in Virginia. But people come from very long distances to come to Maryland to seek abortion services. And the Baltimore Abortion Fund has been very critical in helping people to get that health care. So if you're able, and I don't have the link available in front of me, but we've supported them before. If you Google Baltimore Abortion Fund, you can find them very easily. If you're able to give a little bit, do that. I wanted to share that. What's up, Infinite Content? How you feeling, man? Boom, 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 boom. Goom, 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 goom. What else? Who else is in here? Whoops, I didn't scroll. Oh, I didn't scroll. Hold on. Oh yeah, guys, don't forget to support our comrades as well. Black Power Media, please go do that. Shout out to the good sis Kalechi Okafor. I think Kalechi's birthday was this week, if I'm not mistaken. Kalechi's a Libra. We like the Libras. I have Libra rising in my chart. I think that's why, in part, I get along so well with Libras. I like Libras, as I really do. Most Libras I do get along with. It's yeah. I dig that. God damn it. What the fuck is this? Hold on. Hold on, Infinite. I got you. Infinite Content, thank you so much for your super chat. It says, Kim, you came in spitting hotter fire than Dylan. not the Dylan. Spit hot fire than Dylan. Talk that ish, woman. Thank you, Infinite Content. I appreciate you. Philly, stand up. What's up, Phil? IA. Delphi IA. 215-610. What's them niggas across the bridge? 856 South Jersey. What's up? I love Philly. I was talking to my homeboy from Philly the other day. Oh man, well they moved to Jersey now because they said Philly too goddamn wild. But we was talking. I said, dog. I said, nigga, Philly out here acting like Baltimore. Nigga, what is going on? Philadelphia is wilding. Like it is a bigger Baltimore City out here. It's wild. Anyway. Uh-oh. Yeah, I need y'all to be paying attention in the chat and shit. Every time I see new ends pop up, I don't know what to make of it. Again, I'm so skeptical and incredulous. Friend or foe? That's how I identify yourself, please and thank you. So let me go on to my next story here. Let me pull up the doc here. Everybody, do me a favor, please. Hit the like, hit the thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel, support Burn It Down with Kim Brown in the freeways, in the ski ways, and get it the ski mask way. Well, yeah, maybe get it the ski mask way and redistribute it back to us. BIDWKB. That is us on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Patreon.com/BIDWKB. All right, let me get into my next shit because what I can appreciate, despite the immense tragedy that is occurring in Gaza right now and other places, but let's stick with Gaza right now. What I can appreciate is the blatant manipulation of public opinion in the form of propaganda, which comes in the form of blatant lies, outright falsehoods, and a determination in some media and government spaces to actually like adhere to the lie. It's like, no, nigga, like we see that you niggas was lying and you niggas is still out here trying to act like y'all wasn't lying. Like, we don't believe you. Y'all definitely need more people. Hold on. Oh, and let me actually, let's start with that because speaking of we don't believe you, you need more people. Will, if you could pop up that video from the UN, and this is a clip. I actually meant to play this in the last segment, but this fits here. and I'm sure maybe if you guys are on social media, specifically Twitter, maybe you saw this. And let me read you the description. It says, at the United Nations Human Rights Committee meeting, many participants turned their backs on the U.S. Ambassador Michelle Taylor when her turn came to speak as a protest against Israel's bombing over Gaza. So keep in mind what you're about to see is from the inside of the United Nations Human Rights Committee meeting. And when the U.S. representative got up to speak, many of the attendees turned their backs. Look at Will. Look at Will on the spot. Look at that. Yes. Turn their backs. You get this back, nigga. Like when Bagheera gets mad at me, nigga, she turns her back on me. Like, no, bitch, get the fuck out my face. I appreciate this. I want you to I'm gonna be quiet, Will. If we could take that from the top and run it with the sound, because you kind of hear US Ambassador Michelle, whatever her name is, starting to, introduce herself, and then you see everybody turn around. So I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead, run that again, please, sir.
Without distinction of any kind. As I said yesterday in my opening remarks, to discuss, and I am grateful to everyone in this room, committee members, civil society, and members of my delegation for your participation.
In closing, bitch, get out of here. Nobody want to hear that hypocritical shit from y'all phony ass niggas, especially the United States of America. America want to get up there and talk about some human rights, like the human rights that are being denied the asylum seekers at the southern border, like the human rights that are being denied people that are incarcerated in this country, like the human rights that are being denied to black and brown motorists across this country when they encounter police and traffic stops, like Leonard Cure, the man who had been targeted not once but twice by the system, unlawfully convicted, served 16 years, was released from prison, and then got killed by the fucking cops as a part of a traffic stop. Don't talk to me, America, about human rights. And I want to send my applause and my hats off to everybody in that room who stood and turned their back on America. Like I said, they did that really because of America's support of Israel, but shit, they could have been doing that shit just for America being America out here, right? So there's that. I wanted to show y'all that. That was important. But let me get into the next part. The next / same part. And that, what we just saw was important also. Because people in this country really don't understand how disliked America is around the world. And it's not because we got McDonald's and Ford F-150s and shit, okay? I know that's what the fucking crackers, that's what the Glenn Becks and the Matt Walshes and all these dickheads of the world want to tell you, like, oh, they're jealous of our democracy. They're jealous of our... No! They hate us because we cause fuckery, harm, and destruction other places. And then we have the audacity to lecture people about human rights and democracy. It's like, I'm sorry, the world's biggest state sponsor of terrorism cannot also at the same time be the world's arbiter about what is human rights and what is democracy, because America is not clear on those things. Well, we are clear, but we do different intentionally. So there has been a lot of stories ever since October 7th, ever since the Hamas response to the Israeli occupation was really felt by Israel. There has been a lot of outright lies been reported. And I want to start with one of the big ones, one of the biggest outright lies that have been reported since the start of this latest battle between Hamas and now the Israeli state is that when Hamas breached the border, came across the border with Israel on hang gliders and paragliders, some of the most incredible shit I've ever seen, like amazing, right? the narrative started to come out of Israel that Hamas fighters were raping women and beheading children. Now, did Hamas come to bring the motherfucking ruckus? They absolutely did. Did Hamas bring the fucking ruckus? Yeah, they did. Did Hamas decapitate children? Nah, they didn't. They didn't. And this was this has been debunked already in mainstream media spaces, I think, but I don't know if the mere debunking of it on cable news was enough to fully rein back or reel back the lie after it has been put out there and reinforced and reported as fact for a number of days, right? Like the retraction is never as loud as the accusation, right? So whereas it has been fully debunked that 40 Israeli children were decapitated, I'm not sure if the wider population in this country or even in the whole of the West, I don't know if they know that that has been proven false. And this interesting exchange on Piers Morgan's show, oh my gosh, the king of the dickheads. Well, maybe he's the lord of the dickheads. He's definitely a ranking member of the dickheads. I'm not sure. Let me figure out what Pierce's exact title is. But he's definitely in upper management of the dickheads, right? He's on the board of directors of the dickheads, yeah? So here's Piers Morgan being challenged by one of his guests about the false story that Pierce and others put out about these 40 decapitated Israeli children. And Pierce is like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Y'all got to see this shit. Will, let's run that. This is hilarious, by the way.
Although it is of 40 decapitated babies, although it was refuted. So what happens when people hear that, killing babies is horrible. But when you say decapitated 40 babies, you are planting a certain image,
well, who has
with
said
a certain
that?
trigger in people's mind.
Who has said that? Who has said 40?
Who has said that?
Who has said that?
40 decapitated.
Who has said that?
You have repeated.
No, I haven't.
What?
I've never said that.
You haven't said on your show 40 decapitated babies?
I choked up earlier reading this new revelation about 40 babies being killed.
Oh my God.
And some of them being beheaded. And I was like, how can any human being do that to a baby? Never.
Ben Shapiro didn't say it?
No.
And it was confirmed by multiple news sources, 40 babies dead, some beheaded. Here is CNN.
Ron DeSantis didn't say
Nobody
it?
has said
Okay,
and worked in Palestinian refugee camps.
They are
and saw how
not decapitating babies' heads. They are
Right,
not
I know, but
intentionally doing
they're
that.
blowing
No,
nobody said it?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe I am wrong. Decapitated. Here's
You're
the
wrong.
thing.
I've never said that.
The thing, what happened, no, you're wrong.
Dog, please, Jesus, Lord, Allah, Buddha, somebody. I need to be blessed with the ability to lie with the straightest of faces, the way that Piers Morgan just sat there and told that lie with the straightest of fucking faces. Piers said, who said that? Nobody. I certainly never said that shit. Woo, that nigga would be getting away with perjury on the stand because that motherfucker looked extremely credible as he was telling that lie. He said, I didn't say none of that. Oh, not just you, Pierce. Everybody said it. All them crackers got on TV and said it. I'm sure some of them fucking bougie ass house niggas got on TV and repeated that dumb shit. Oh, see, and that's the wild thing, y'all. And what's today, the 20th? That shit happened, happened the weekend of the siege, yeah? So within 2 weeks, these giant false propaganda stories have already been debunked. But the funny thing is, we have witnessed this. We are seeing this in real time. So please don't think for a second, because we live in big 23. There's cameras everywhere. Everybody got cell phone cameras. There's cameras, CCTV cameras, all that shit. That the shit is going to be reported truthfully and accurately in real time. No, these motherfuckers are still trying to get over. They trying to see how far, how dumb, how gullible, how accepting. Like if a talking head like Pierce Morgan or fucking Florida Governor Ron DeSantis repeat the shit, how quickly are Americans, specifically in this instance, how quickly you gonna be believing that shit? A lot of Americans was immediately believing that shit. That's why I'm trying to urge our Black Christian family, please do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe when it comes to, repping for, quote, the Jews, because we're gonna get to the Jews actually, because I have actually taken a big interest in the Jewish perspective. And I'm talking about the anti-Zionist Jewish perspective in this. Rosalba, thank you so much for your Cash App support, girl. Appreciate you, baby. Thank you. Because truthfully, I do listen to the Palestinians. I believe the Palestinians. Like I said, when I got woke about this issue, there was no question what the Palestinians were enduring. I didn't question that for a second. But again, the silencing of the anti-Zionist Jewish voices, not just in this country, but across the world, I think is wild. Because it's like, dog, if America is using the excuse that we riding for the Jews, well, then we need to listen to the Jews. We need to listen to all the Jews, not just the Jews. We don't just listen to our favorite Jews. We got to listen to all the Jews, right? And the Orthodox Jews, the niggas who have read the Torah front with and backward. I don't think Benjamin Netanyahu, the nigga ain't even seen the Torah. I don't give a fuck. You say what you want to say. But anyway, hold on. To further debunk this 40 decapitated Israeli babies, I want to do this because Al Jazeera has been doing some really outstanding work. Oh my God, we're gonna get into some more Al Jazz reporting in a second. Will, if we could pull up that first Al Jazz that's on the doc, it says Al Jazeera digital investigation, the Israeli. No. I thought I had another one on there. Didn't I have one with a time code? Shit. Will, I think it's the one where it says the fact check, actually. It's the second Al Jazeera video. In this fact check, we look at Israelis changing narrative on the deadly bombing at the Gaza. Oh, wait, hold on. No. Maybe I'm getting this confused now. Hold on. It's fine. Al Jazeera. Oh, fuck. I thought I had this on here. Maybe I don't. But I do have some other Al Jazeera reporting. Okay, so let's go with the first video there, Will. The first Al Jazz video. And this one is going to be addressing the hospital strike, right? That has been the news of this week that has obviously upset so many around the world. In case you did not know to what we are referring, the way it's been reported in the West is that there was a hospital explosion or a hospital blast in Gaza, right? Now, the Palestinians immediately asserted that it was Israel who blew up the hospital. Who the fuck else blew up the fucking hospital, right? After Israel had been making threats and had been telling Palestinians that they needed to evacuate from hospitals for days, right? And when the hospital blew up, Israel's claim initially was that the rocket did not come from Israel. In fact, it was a misfired rocket from the Islamic jihadists. Now, again, guys, I'm not super versed on the region. I don't know all the different factions that are operating within Hamas, but within Palestine, right? Besides Hamas, right? But I have to say, and maybe I'm revealing my ignorance here, but I have to say, when Israel came out and said it was the Islamic jihadists, I said, are those real people? Because that sounds like, let me think of the scariest Muslim name that I can think of for a group, right? Like they might as well, like if something happened to the Los Angeles Police Department headquarters, the LAPD substation in Palmdale, right? Los Angeles. And then somehow that shit got blowed up. And the first thing the cops get on the news and say it was the Hoover Crips. Like, who was the scariest name, the scariest organization, the scariest name that you could think of? I said Islamic jihadists. I said, if they are a real organization, which they very well might be, but I said that shit sounds made up. Ooh, who's scary? What's a scary group we can blame this on? Ooh, I got it. The Islamic jihadists. Got him. But hold on, I'm sorry. This is another time where I'm smiling and giggling inappropriately at a very inopportune moment, because obviously the weight of this topic is making me be inappropriately smiling and laughing because it makes me uncomfortable, right? All right, so I want us to actually take a look at this detailed chronicling that Al Jazeera did, Al Jazeera's digital team. And what they did was this. They used video footage from their own stream over Gaza and Israel, right? Over the border. And then they used footage from CCTVs, I believe, on both sides. One from the vantage point from the Israeli side, and another, or maybe both cameras are looking into Gaza and one is located in Israel. They're going to explain it. But how this lie that Israel and the West and Israel and America are backing each other up on, that it wasn't an Israeli airstrike that blew up this hospital and killed hundreds of Palestinians. No, somehow it was a misfired rocket that came from the Islamic jihadists and they blew up their own fucking hospital. That's what we're supposed to believe. That's what Israel and America want us to believe. But shout out to real journalistic outlets like Al Jazeera, who undoubtedly has their own agenda, of which I agree with at the moment. So let's take a look at some of the reporting done by Al Jazeera to debunk the Israeli lie that a misfired rocket from Gaza was actually responsible for bringing down the hospital. Let's take a look.
On the 17th of October 2023, hundreds of Palestinians were killed when the Al-Ahli Arab Hospital in Gaza was bombed. Officials in Gaza blame the blast on an Israeli airstrike. The Israeli army denies responsibility and claims the attack was due to a failed rocket launch by the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. They say they used Al Jazeera footage to allegedly confirm these claims.
But you're asking me for proof? You don't need to get proof from me. All you need to do is switch over to Al Jazeera, who broadcasted it live, and you can actually see. I got a screen caption just for you to see. This is Al Jazeera from last night.
Our digital investigations team, SANAD, decided to investigate these claims and conducted an in-depth analysis of this Al Jazeera video, along with several other videos from multiple sources, and established a detailed second-by-second timeline of the events. By analysing Al Jazeera's live stream starting at 1845, the team was able to identify 4 Israeli airstrikes on Gaza, targeting the area near the hospital, starting at 1854-28, then 1855-03, then 1857-42, and then 1858-04. That's military time for just before 7 p.m. local. The team cross-referenced this video with another, captured by a camera situated south of Tel Aviv, showing a wide view of the Gaza Strip. That video shows a series of rocket launches from Gaza. That video clearly shows how the Iron Dome intercepted these rockets. Going back to the Al Jazeera live feed at 1859-35, we can see a single rocket launched from Gaza. This is the rocket in question. This rocket can also be seen on the Israeli video. 15 seconds later, Al Jazeera's live feed shows that the same rocket was intercepted at exactly 18:59:50. This interception has the same afterglow seen in previous interceptions. A closer look at the video captured by the Al Jazeera live feed shows the rocket being completely destroyed and broken apart in the sky. According to all feeds and videos analysed, this rocket was intercepted and was the last one launched from Gaza before the bombing of the hospital. 5 seconds after that interception, an explosion in Gaza can be seen, followed 2 seconds later by a much larger explosion. This is the strike that hit Al-Ahli Arab Hospital. As a result, Al Jazeera digital investigations team found no grounds to the Israeli army claim. that the strike on the Al Ahli Arab Hospital in Gaza was caused by a failed rocket launch.
That's what I'm talking about, you guys. That's why it's important to try to diversify your media consumption as much as you're able to. You know what I'm saying? And I know Al Jazz basically is, mainstream Middle East news, I suppose, but goddamn. Where's the ABC News digital investigative team breaking it down frame by frame, second by second to call bullshit on the Israeli narrative and the American justification, backing up what Israel said. And I want to play another clip actually, because Al Jazeera took it another step further, because like most people who are content with the loss of innocent life, who are content to dehumanize others, some people brag when they do dastardly things. And a member of the IDF forces, in the immediate aftermath of this hospital in Gaza being bombed, hundreds of patients seeking treatment in a hospital, hundreds of healthcare workers helping the injured and the sick in a hospital were destroyed, killed by an Israeli missile strike. Initially, someone from the IDF bragged about this. They bragged about it. And then they tried to retract it. Israel tried to come clean it up. Psych, 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 psych. That's not what happened. See, they did it over there. It wasn't us. It was them. Then why was your man's over here on Twitter bragging about the shit, huh? Al Jazeera asked the questions. Will, can we cue up that clip, please, sir? Thank you.
What do we know about the Al Ahli Arab Hospital massacre? Al Jazeera has verified a timeline of events of how news of this massacre unfolded across social media. On Tuesday, 17th October at around 6:59 p.m., a massive explosion ripped through the Al Ahli Arab Hospital in Gaza. This video, filmed from outside the hospital, captures the first sounds of ordnance whirring through the air and the subsequent explosions. Almost immediately, multiple eyewitnesses take to social media to describe the scenes of a massacre with hundreds of bodies scattered in the aftermath. Many images are too graphic to broadcast. At 8:23 p.m., the Israeli Prime Minister's social media advisor, Hanania Naftali, celebrated the bombing by saying Israeli Air Force struck a Hamas terrorist base inside a hospital in Gaza. A multiple number of terrorists are dead. He then deleted the tweet. The Israeli army were quick to deny having anything to do with the attack on the hospital and tweeted, "The Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorist organization is responsible for the failed shooting that hit the hospital." Along with the tweet, they posted CCTV footage reportedly confirming rockets being launched by the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. One glaring problem with the footage they shared was the timestamp. The CCTV feed displays a timestamp of 7:59 p.m., which was approximately 1 hour after the impact. The IDF then edited the tweet and removed the attached footage.
Streets is watching, tweets is watching. And so, yeah, I misspoke. It wasn't a member of the IDF. It was a member of Netanyahu's social media team who got on the Twitters and started bragging about how IDF forces have blew up the hospital. And the IDF tried to come back and clean that shit up. Like, no, shh. That wasn't us. No, that wasn't us. Wink, wink, wink. No, that was definitely y'all. That was definitely y'all. And again, these are questions that I want, and this is information that we have to take back into our own respective communities, into our spheres, y'all, we have community here. We have community over at Black Power Media, but we know when we go out into the real world, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is not viewing the world like we do. Even our friends and family, even, people that are close to us, our colleagues, etc., more, whatever, church family, etc., etc. But I'm just saying, but that leaves potentially a vacuum for our folks. I'm specifically referencing black folks. People from other communities, you could share how that looks like in your spaces. But when it comes to black folks, like I feel like black folks, it's only the radical black folks that understand our natural allegiance with the Palestinians. I feel like other black folks, maybe who may not be as well apprised of the situation, are going to be susceptible to falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You know what I'm saying? Well, don't we root for the Israelites and the Jews? What didn't Jesus say that the Israelites should have Jerusalem? Y'all, we cannot root for niggas blowing up hospitals. Period. Point blank. That's it. Any regime that is willing to do that is evil. They are the evil ones. It is them. You don't get more defenseless than being in a hospital. Okay. And it's like they owned it, bragged about it, but understood the optics. Yeah. Like you're not going to curry international support by blowing up people in fucking hospitals. And the Israelis are savvy enough to understand that. That's why they walked it back, but not before bragging about it. So that's how you know they did it. Okay. So when there are these extraordinary reports in the mainstream media outlets, especially in American press, British press, Canadian press, I'm certain it probably looks very similar. But for us here, and when we hear our people repeat the shit, oh man, did you hear that they beheaded 40 babies? No, you got to tell them, no, that's false. That's not true. That's been debunked. There's no evidence for that. That's just some shit they got on TV and said. Like nobody can show us, and not to say I want to see a decapitated baby, whatever. However, if I'm seeing all these families of kidnapped Israelis who are being held hostage over in Gaza, if I'm seeing their stories, and again, I'm okay with seeing their stories. They're probably going through something extremely scary. I can put myself in their shoes. Like it's some scary shit. I can dig that. But where the interviews with the parents or the families of the babies that was decapitated? I haven't seen not one, not a single one. I ain't seen a picture. I have not seen a photo of the little baby that had his head chopped off. What was his name? What was her name? Like, I mean, sometimes the most profound questions are the simplest ones, right? From a journalistic perspective, I'm telling y'all who, what, when, where, and how, why, how, ain't let me down not once, to be perfectly honest. Because if I can fill in the blanks of those, the who, what, when, where, why, and how, you might be able to come to some sort of conclusion. But sometimes in these sensationalized media reports, some of the most pertinent details be omitted, and you should question why that is. How come we haven't heard from not now a parent of a decapitated child from Israel? And the reason why we haven't heard from them is because they don't exist. The last thing that I want to sort of debunk here, and again, I'm just doing a perfunctory sort of, encapsulation. Yeah, I mean, Will helps me with the clips, but y'all know I'm a one-woman show over here. So I do what I can when I can, as much as I can. And so the thing that we're about to see here next was published to the Middle East Eye, and it was part of their opinion section. But I saw the video reposted, so unfortunately I was not able, in a timely fashion, to hunt down the name of this Jewish rabbi. But I have to say, like, and again, I think I grew up with, around mainstream Jewish folks. Like I didn't, I didn't have no kids coming to school with rocking the yarmulkes and shit. But when it was Hanukkah time, their parents would come to school and teach us the dreidel and the Hanukkah songs, and I was cool with all that. Whatever, it's fine. So, but my point is, the voices of the Orthodox Jews in this country and from around the world, I think it's important that we listen to them. Because if this is about Jew versus Muslim, Arab versus Israelite, and we're talking about holy lands, holy to all three major Abrahamic faith, right? I think it's important we hear from the religious leaders and not always the political leaders, because the political leaders claim that they are taking these horrific acts of aggression against Palestinians in the name of the Jewish people and in the Jewish faith. But when you ask the more devout practitioners of said faith, y'all cool with this? They keep saying nah. They keep saying nah. And I think it's important that we listen to they nahs. Not Nas Zier, not Nazir Jones, not Nas is coming, not Nasty Nas, not Godson, not Kalisa baby father. No, but we need to listen to yeah. So I want us to take a listen. Again, I find the source credible because I do follow Middle East Eye, so I know this individual has a name and a title. I don't know his name and title, but I just wanted to give you all the source in which I found it, because if you decide to run it down for yourself, y'all won't be like, Kim just found this rando ass shit online. No. Middle East Eye. This is in their opinion section. So listen to the Orthodox Jewish brethren run it down about how Israel as a state, as a Zionist state, is doing some very un-Judea type actions right here. So let's check this out.
We have a message for this Nakba Day, for this 75 years of occupation. We want the world to know that what is being perpetrated against the Palestinian people, the oppression, the subjugation, the terrible cruelty, is not in the name of our religion. It is not in the name of the Star of David. It is not in the name of the Jewish people around the world who are true to the Jewish religion. Because we are Jewish and because we are true to our religion, we are in total opposition to the existence of the Zionist state of Israel. I call it Zionist state of Israel because it is Zionist. It is not Jewish. Judaism in the Torah forbids Jews to have our own sovereignty, our own entity since the destruction of the temples, and Jews true to the Torah never aspire or try to have our own state. We also are forbidden to kill or to steal. The whole concept of taking this land away from the Palestinian people, it is totally antithetical and is contradictory to my religion, Judaism. Jews have always, from day one, stood up against this Zionist entity. We as Jews continue. Because we are true to the Torah, we stand and demonstrate, and we cry and suffer and feel the suffering of the Palestinian people. We want the world to know we are in solidarity, we are together with the Palestinian people in their suffering, and we hope and pray to God constantly for the total end of the occupation. We want the world to know that the Zionist movement is not a Jewish movement. It was a political, material movement created by heretics, and they simply try to incorporate our religion in order to intimidate and silence people and call them anti-Semitic if they stand in opposition. But this is patently false. Anti-Semitic is supporting the state of Israel. It is a cause of exacerbating anti-Semitism by having this occupation. It is a cause of bloodshed of the Palestinians and Jews alike. It is the cause of the oppression of not only the Muslims and the Christians in Palestine, but of the Jews. Hundreds of thousands of Jews stand in Palestine, have lived there prior to the state. They have lived and they're continuing to live till today and demonstrate daily and get brutally beaten and arrested. This is the sad story of this terrible Nakba. It is a tragedy, a calamity, and God with His compassion, we hope, will see the suffering. And even today, the last few days, how you see daily the death and suffering of the Palestinians and the attacks. It's all Zionism, not Judaism. God with His compassion should bring a speedy removal of the Zionist state of Israel so we can once again live together in harmony, Jews and Arabs, as we've had for all these hundreds and hundreds of years. The Jews could show their gratitude to the Arab and Muslim countries for their embracing Jews and giving them a home. Inshallah, soon in our days. Amen. Assalamu alaikum.
Woo! Alaikum assalam. Man, he had us with the inshallah out here. Shout out to the Jewish brethren. You know what I'm saying? And again, don't believe us. Don't believe us that Zionism is not Judaism. He said Zionism is not Judaism. Zionism is a political movement founded by heretics. Read them down, Rabbi. Read them down. Okay? And that's for all them liberal latte ADLs out there. You need to be listening to the niggas with the beards and shit, with the ringlets. Don't believe me. Don't believe the little black left radical, you know what I'm saying? Pro-Palestine. Don't believe us. Believe your own people. Believe the people that are reading your religious texts stronger than what you reading them, apparently. They must have missed that part. The ADL Jewish folks must have missed that part in the Torah, where it says that the Jewish people are not to have their own state until their Messiah comes, right? They just skip all over that. But that's okay, because that's what imperialism does. That's what happens when you stand with the colonizer. You know what I'm saying? You empathize with the oppressor. In this case, Israel is oppressing the Palestinians, stealing their land, murdering them, pushing them to the brink of genocide right in front of our faces, right here in Big 2023. So as this saga continues, right, we ourselves have to be so vigilant about, number one, misinformation, because especially when we encounter it on online spaces, especially social media, like when they was saying that there was AI generated content, people was creating false scenes and shit via AI. I said, oh my God, how are we ever going to know what is actually going? But that's where having a discerning media palette comes into play here, right? You have to curate your own list of credible sources. Like, just because some shit has got a lot of views, don't make it so. Don't make it factual, nor does it make it accurate. So it's important to find sources that you find credible and truthful and believable. Follow them, follow, the links that they post, etc. But we have to be just exceedingly on heightened alert about lies, about outright lies coming from the Western media, coming from the Israeli government, coming from the American government and the American intelligence community. They're going to lie to make sure this shit works in their favor, in their narrative. And if you don't believe me, let us hearken back to the Bush administration, Bush Jr. When George Bush sent Colin Powell, dumb, goofy ass, and that's the reason I don't ever fuck with Colin Powell. This is why when Colin Powell died, I was like, good riddance, nigga, bye. Colin Powell, black man. First black man in a lot of roles in U.S. military. This dumbass motherfucker let himself probably volunteered, probably raised his fucking hand, because that's how Sambo coon ass niggas get down. They want to volunteer for the coon mission. And Colin Powell, was he national security advisor? What was his role at the time? Because they moved Coley around a little bit. Anyway, whatever role he was filling at that moment for the Bush administration, when he went up to the United Nations, to the UN Security Council, and spit that bullshit, gave that goofy ass PowerPoint presentation about Saddam Hussein and the mustard gas and the aluminum tubes, and Saddam got the weapons of mass destruction. See, he got the shit here, here, and here. And it turns out Saddam ain't had that shit no fucking where. Okay? And yet, 20 years of American taxpayer dollars, 20 years of Iraqi families, lives, children's being outright ruined, Iraqi society. See, again, America, we don't even give no second thought to that shit. I mean, what you talking about Iraq? That's old shit. Nah, it's not old shit to the people of Iraq. They are still living with the lies that America told the rest of the world to justify their destruction. Okay? Let us not even be close to falling for that shit again. And let us, y'alls, I'm talking y'alls, you, all y'alls. This is our responsibility to make sure that our people don't fall for this shit, okay? Because our people are going to be, again, susceptible to the banana in the tailpipe. Because for some fucking reason in the 21st century, Black Americans want to prove how goddamn patriotic they are. And that shit does not compute with me. This shit does not compute with me. These niggas, these bougie, aspirational, petty bourgeoisie, which translate directly to the little bougies. The little bougies are falling all over themselves to prove how about it they are for America. You niggas are fucking high. You Sambo ass, cotton picking, fucking coon ass niggas need to get off your colonizer's dick. You are the oppressed, bitch. You ain't winning in America. You need to start seeing yourself as part of the oppressed of the rest of this world and act accordingly. And fix your face accordingly and adjust your rhetoric accordingly. Like, enough. Like, we're not here to prop up this fucking state. I'm not no goddamn Al Sharpton. If America is the house and the house is on fire, let the motherfucker burn. Let me take a time out. Because I know Will is like, you know what, Kim? Will said, I'm sick of you and your Leo shit. You just been out here running off at the mouth. It's goddamn 8:30. I'm about to turn y'all loose here in 2 seconds. Get a video, like, a thumbs up. I apologize. I got fired up because, again, you know, that shit hits on too many of my buttons. You know, the media misrepresenting, misreporting, inaccurate, intentionally leading the people down the wrong way with propaganda. Like, kiss my ass. Like, That's why we on YouTube. Turn it up. Because fuck that shit. The last thing I'm gonna do, and again, okay, Will, I promise I'm gonna turn you loose. I promise I'm gonna turn you loose. It's Friday. I'm gonna turn you loose. Y'all, like the video, subscribe to the channel, burn it down with Kim Brown. We appreciate all the support. Also, shout out to Black Power Media and all my good comrades and the Remix Morning Show in particular. Big up. So this week on the Remix Morning Show, Black Power Media, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. Come kick it with us. Sorry, I turned on my radio voice there on y'all for a second. You like that, right? Anyway. So it was brought to my attention that one of our comrades had got into a bit of a Twitter entanglement with some folks I otherwise like. Right? Well, if you could cue up the Saturdays with Renee on this is on Black Power Media. So if you don't watch BPM, which you should, which I think all of y'all do, by the way, all of y'all are remixes in this bitch. And if you're not, go and get with the program, blackpowermedia.org. On Saturdays, the good bruv, Reverend Dr. Jared Ball, Howard County All-Star, might I add. Jared Ball hosts a show on Saturdays with Renee Johnston, one of my favorites. Renee is a member of the Fire Fam. I love to see and hear Renee on Black Power Media. Oh, look at Renee. Look at that mane. Oh, my God, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Oh, I'm burning up with envy at the way Renee's hair flows. Anyway. I still like her. Even though I'm jealous, I still like her. Regardless, all right, let me straighten up. All right. So this week on the Remix Morning Show, Jared was like, yeah, Renee said on Saturdays that, you know, the Revolutionary Blackout Network had called her out her name. I said, whoa. What? I'm sorry. Who did what? Who said what about Renee? I said, not Renee. So I went back and watched Saturdays with Renee on Black Power Media because I needed an exclusive. Because y'all know I am off Twitter at the moment because I'm choosing peace. And when I decide to choose violence, I will return to Twitter. But at the moment, I'm choosing peace. So I was not apprised of this situation at all. I had no fucking clue what was going on until Jared mentioned it on the morning show, and then I went back and watched it. So Well, in case y'all didn't see the shit, let me allow Renee to tell in her own words what the issue was, and then I'm gonna come back and tell y'all what my issue is. What my issue is. So let's check this out.
We still got a couple of minutes. All right, so can we indulge my petty for a minute? My Jared level petty.
You know I'm with that.
Yeah, we're gonna indulge my petty for a little bit because I'm so over it. I really am just so over it. So, as people know, I have a very like unfriendly history with RBN, and I don't want to say I've tried not to like get too into it with them because they frustrate me, and so I do at times point out when I see like really like things that I feel like are very, very, they're just contradictions to being a Black revolutionary. And I just don't, I can't get down with it. So, and I feel completely comfortable calling this out now because somebody actually came to me on Thursday at my event to tell me that on one of their streams, apparently, I don't know if they were talking about me directly or indirectly, but somehow it was made clear that I was the person that they were getting at. I don't watch them, so whatever. I'm not even gonna go search for the show to find it because it's just not that serious to me. But they posted this thing on Twitter about Tulsi Gabbard, right? Because she posted her pro-Israel nonsense. And oh, they called me an op. Oh, look at that. Okay, so now I feel even better with my
really?
level. Yep. Jammin said it, 93. They called me an op. So that's hysterical to me. So anywho, so they posted this thing. I think CJ posted it. And he was retweeting something that Tulsi Gabbard wrote. And she was supporting Israel, which nobody should be surprised about because she has never, ever, ever stood on the side of any level of Muslim. She was not going to side with Palestine, right? So no one should be surprised at this. But no, go to the other one first.
Okay, my bad.
So no, you're good. And so he wrote and said, weren't you just at the Rage Against the War Machine rally? And I had to look twice at it because my thought when I read it was, we're poking at the rally that y'all literally supported and that one of
damn.
Poke at? Like, what are we talking about right now? What is happening? I don't understand. Because Sabby was there and she spoke at the end of their little march or whatever that they did, at the end when the rally was done. And although, I could appreciate that, that this was, I can appreciate that they were following the news, right? But we all know that they're part of this red-brown attempt, this coalition, supposedly. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Sorry, my last child is getting picked up. Give me 2 seconds.
It's all good. It's all good. So as Renee handles that, that's
right.
wild. Oh,
so,
yeah, go ahead. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So they're part of this red-brown attempt at a coalition. I try not to speak on it too much because I understand that people are going to do that, and that's not my hill. So I'm not doing that. So then she posted, and I called it out because I feel like if you're going to be talking about people being at a rally, then it shouldn't be a rally that you supported. Because
Jill Stein was at that joint.
Oh, I was pissed. Yes, she spoke at it. Yes, and so, before the rally happened, I was posting about the fact that how can you How can you be doing an anti-war rally with someone like Tulsi Gabbard, who is literally a war hawk, who believes in dropping bombs, and who was in Africa supporting AFRICOM because she's still in the damn military? Like, what kind of anti-war rally are we putting on if this is one of your speakers? How does that happen? So I felt it necessary to say something. And, you know, could I have kept my mouth shut? I could have. But you know what? Like, I feel like I can't sit in that, right? Like I don't really have it in me to like sit back and pretend when I see people doing things that are complete contradictions. I just don't have it in me to do it. And so I called it out, and I had people, oh, you a coward, you didn't tag CJ, but I don't have an interest in having a conversation with these people. Like I have no desire to do it. I'm not interested in doing it because the few times that we have had interactions and I've tried to call them out, I sent you what I got back in response from these so-called, like, you know, Black revolutionaries cussing me out on Twitter because I was pointing out, like, y'all are giving Jimmy Dore a whole lot of time and energy, and they're still giving him that, right? Like, they had Max Blumenthal on
too, man. I feel bad about that. I feel
listen.
I feel bad not just because of what was said to you, but just for the politics of it. You know, they don't reciprocate, and they don't. I've always been struggling with they target a white audience as the legit Black spokespeople. That's the lane they want. So, but they don't engage other Black activists, organizations, entities. The one time we appeared on their platform, it was clear that they're not well versed in the politics that we engage in, and part of which would include not engaging publicly, certainly, if at all, with you or anyone in that way. So that's whack.
Yeah. I just, you know, so to be on your live.
You cut it there, Will. So I encourage everybody to go over to Black Power Media and watch that episode of Saturdays with Renee. But listen, I wanted to say a couple things here, and a couple of these things I'm going to say are going to be a bit of a self drag. So, you know, bear with me for a moment, because, you know, I have not been on Twitter for a very long time. I have not been really paying attention to the ins and the outs and the what have yous and the dynamics and the push and the pull and who's beefing, who's not beefing on Twitter. And these are usually things that I don't concern myself with. But Renee Johnston has been a real one out here. Renee Johnston has been a very consistent supporter of this platform. She has been a supporter of me. She has been a supporter of Black Power Media. Every instance I've had to engage with Renee, she has always been on the up and up. She's been principled. She ain't been negative. And listen, she could be negative. like she asked Jared, can she indulge her petty? Girl, be petty out here, okay? Niggas deserve petty out here. My point is, Renee's been a straight shooter out here. And even the people, and again, in the interest of transparency, I've never met Renee face to face. I've had significant interaction with her online. And maybe I feel as though that is, in my opinion, in the times that we live in at this moment, a perfectly acceptable way to gauge character. And on top of that, the people that she has built with and engaged with offline, I have not heard people come back and be like, oh, Renee ain't about it, or Renee fake, or Renee ain't with the struggle, or Renee this, Renee that. Renee has been very clear about who she is and who she isn't. Okay. I was perusing her Twitter timeline today, looking at the different interactions that she has had with members of Revolutionary Blackout Network. And that's where I wanted to make my comment, because, you know, I was just very disappointed to see the response that Renee has gotten, the names that she has been called by people from RBN. And let me be clear here. I've only engaged or interacted with 3 people from RBN. That would be Nick, Sabby, and JB Font. Each of my interactions with all 3 of those people have been very pleasant, have been very respectful, have been very above board. Nick has been on this show. Sabby has been on this show. I've been on Sabby's show. I've been on RBM before. I've been on JB Font's channel. Like, do I like these three individuals personally? I do. I have not met or interacted with CJ or Rome. Okay, but again, from my limited engagement on Twitter, I don't try to find things to pick apart people of. But again, I'm not on there all the time, so maybe I'm not as annoyed because I don't see things on a regular basis. But I don't feel as though Renee has done anything to warrant the attacks that she's got. And one tweet that I found, this must have been shortly after the rally against the war machine, right? Rage Against the War Machine rally. And this tweet, I don't have it on the doc, Will, so don't worry about it. But it was a back and forth between Renee and Nick at Socialist MMA on Twitter. And one of the things Nick said to her, he said that you're a joke. He said, black women, he said, you're a black woman, but your main focus is Nick Brana, right? And Jimmy Dore. Get the fuck out of here, GTFO. And I don't like it when I see black people arguing with each other over whites. and listen. Listen, we all got our favorite whites, right? Some of my favorite whites are with us tonight. Shout out to Schultz. shout out to Franny. Like, we got some favorite whites. We got some of our favorite whites with us, right? But dog, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not going to publicly argue with another black person who I generally unite with politically. Like, who we are on basically the similar ideology or on the same side, right? I suppose. But I'm never gonna do that shit in public. Like, I'm never gonna do that. Like, I was very disappointed to see that coming from black folks towards a black woman who herself, I don't think, considers herself to be a public figure. Renee is an organizer, but Renee is also a high school guidance counselor out here. She said this on her Twitter timeline. She made it very clear about who she is and who she isn't. And she is fully entitled to call out the shit online that she thinks is fugazi or disingenuous or, contradictory. I think that is okay. And she is also okay not to engage with those same people that she's talking about, because she maybe does not want to invite this sort of harassment that black women specifically are susceptible to online when speaking up about certain things. And again, the long history of online harassment of leftist black women in particular is well documented. Hello, me. I can count myself. We can throw Jacqueline Luqman in there. There's a long list of black women on the left who have been harassed, even by others on the left, right? So I'm disappointed that somebody that I like and respect would devolve to that, especially over a white. Okay, especially over a white. And there has been some other developments surrounding this that I'm just going to allude to. I'm just telling y'all straight up that there has been some other dialogue behind that clip that we just saw and this exchange that has been going on Twitter. I'm not going to elaborate on it because I'm not messy. Let me be clear. I could be messy. I'm not going to be messy because the dialogue was not towards me and it did not concern me nor involve me. So it is not my place to speak on it, but I am aware of the shit. And once the people who it was aimed towards and who, were the receivers of some of this dialogue, when they choose to speak on it, then I'll speak on it. But some other shit is kicked off, y'all. So, but I just wanted to be clear because I'm not fully clear on the Twitter entanglement. But I wanted to say this, like, even though I like JB, I like Nick, and I like Sabby, I like them as people, I like them as individuals. Nick, what you did here, the way that you came at Renee was deeply unprincipled and, in my opinion, way, way out of pocket, especially considering who she is, the kind of work that she does. Like, Renee's not up here with no YouTube channel or no podcast. She going about her goddamn business trying to get black people free. And to be honest, on the other side of some of Brother Jared's critique, you know, I'm not so I'm not so versed in me personally. I'm not so versed in black liberation scholarship that, you know, the group that is now known as Revolutionary Blackout Network, who was formerly known as the Fred Hampton Leftists. I'm not so deep in that black liberation scholarship that I was personally offended by them calling themselves the Fred Hampton Leftists. Though, if you watch that clip, if you watch the rest of that clip from Jared, Brother Jared sounded like he got some shit off his chest. He felt there was definitely a catharsis at the end of Jared's rants there. I encourage y'all to check that out. But I think it is important. I don't want any of this to devolve into any sort of ongoing public squabbles between two burgeoning black liberation platforms, right? I think that we can possibly, hopefully, make it so that we're not attacking each other online. Like, if we're serious about liberation, if we're serious about getting free, if we're serious about defeating our masters, which I am, if we're serious about defeating the colonizers, defeating the oppressors, some of these things need to be handled differently, and they need to be, you know, handled differently. But I just wanted to be clear. Renee is a member of the Fire Fam, and we ride with Renee. There's no caveats. There's no, you know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, Renee has been loyal here, and we will send and show her loyalty in return. So Renee, I don't even know why I'm fighting. It's a butt to me, girl. Renee fight, we all fighting. So, but I mean, but me, in trying to be somewhat principled here, I did want to be transparent. Like, I'm not just gonna act like them people at RBN ain't never been nice to me, ain't never showed me love, ain't never. I'm not gonna act like that either. But I'm just, to be clear, we stand in 10 toes down with our sister, and we want better, better dialogue choices, I suppose, better communications choices, in the way that we engage, especially with Black women online. So let me just leave it there. And I would suggest you all tune in tomorrow to Black Power Media, to Saturdays with Renee, because I have a feeling it's going to be spicy. I have a feeling it's going to be spicy. So that's it. That's all I wanted to tell y'all. Was that sufficient, y'all? Did I make myself clear? Because again, what's up, CB? Again, I can't be phony. I'm not gonna be phony in one direction or another. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't fuck with Renee super hard, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like the RBN niggas ain't showed me love. They have. You know what I mean? I just disagree. I think it was not the best not the best way to interact with your sister and online there. Hold on, we got some super chats round the way. Am I straddling the line too much, guys? Am I trying to be Switzerland? Wait, Switzerland was colonizers. Let me shut up. I ain't trying to be Switzerland. I'm trying to be Switzerland. Fuck Switzerland. Fuck Switzerland. Oh man, who are we? Where are we here? Who is this? My good bruv? Is this Schultze? Schultze, you've been with us a long time, baby. Oh, thank you, Schultze. Schultze ran us a super chat and said that your show has been exceptional. Hold on. Goddamn. Wait, let me run that back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. What you say here, Schultze? I'm sorry. Y'all know I can't read worth a damn. Schultze 100 says, Kim, your show has been exceptionally good this month. That is so kind for you, Schultze, all month long. Kim Brown, you've been on fire. Schultze, I'm only able to burn with the support of good Fire Fam members like yourself. Thank you so much, Schultze. Who else ran us some bucks? Schultze? Oh, wait, that's the same one. Okay, hold on. I thought somebody else ran us some bucks also. Zanzibar! Thank you, Zanzibar. Zanzibar said, thank you, Kim. Thank you, Zanzibar. Thank you so much, Zanzibar. I thought someone else sent me a super chat. Well, am I missing a super chat? Someone else sent some money and said, love you. But I didn't screenshot it in a timely fashion, so it went away. Can you see the super chats back there, good man? Will, did you leave?
No, I'm here. It's just a lot going on.
What's going on? Is niggas wilding? What's happening?
Nah, you want to hear the football games and shit like that?
The football games?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Is
I
it
think I know what you're talking about. It's like a.
Started with a
I put them
C.
on. Yeah, let me look them. I'm looking.
I'm sorry. Which you talking about the football games behind you at your house?
Yeah.
Because it's mild outside, and the cheer in Baltimore said, "Fuck this, we going outside."
That's facts.
Okay, cheer in Baltimore, we love y'all. Thank you, Lateef. You're doing an outstanding job of moderation there. Thank you, Damian Stonalona. Well, to the person who sent the super chat, if Will's able to find it, I saw the shit, man. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name in the moment, but I did see it, and I thank you, and I love you back, whoever you are. So anyway, y'all, I'm trying to read these comments. I mean, I just want to be clear. I'm not trying to be a fake ass out here. And I hope I'm not coming across as fake. I hope I'm not coming across as trying to straddle the line. I mean, I know. I mean, I have been attacked online. Not by my own niggas though, but maybe Renee don't consider them niggas to be her niggas. So maybe she ain't tripping. Maybe she wouldn't see it that way. Maybe I should have had Renee ass on here. Maybe we should all be watching Saturdays with Renee, Black Power Media, Saturday mornings. Pamela, I'm trying. That's so kind. Pamela says I'm coming across as principled. Thank you for saying that, Pamela. Again, I ain't trying to be, again, like I said, the RBNNs have been nice to me. They have been nice to me. And I wouldn't have the same critique as Jared Ball, right? Jared's deep in that scholarly theology study. You feel me? I am not. So JB, yeah, I mean, yeah, no, like he said on the Joan, he said, their politics are not as far left or they're, they don't necessarily line up idiot, that word. And I get that, and that's fine. You know what I mean? So anyway, Will's not gonna find the name. So anyway, that's cool, y'all. So let me push off here. You guys be safe. Everybody, please enjoy your weekend. Have a safe weekend. We are going to pray for the people of Gaza. Continue to pray for a free Palestine. Really, if we're going to pray for America, I don't even know what to pray for America. I don't even know what to pray for America. Because we live in a deeply, deeply troubled nation. The ethos of capitalism is literally eating the planet alive. So, if we manage not to slip and slide our way into a nuclear war with whatever the fuck is going on in the Middle East, with whatever the fuck is going on in Russia and Ukraine, whatever the fuck is going on, if we could avoid a nuclear war and just deal with trying to survive the climate catastrophe, right? Maybe we'd be all right, but Jesus. Anyway, I don't like it here. All right, I'm gone. I'll see y'all next week here Tuesday for Burn It Down with Kim Brown, Tuesday edition. Please, again, don't forget to subscribe to Black Power Media, Remix Morning Show, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. A lot of you all are remixers and supporters of Black Power Media, and I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for supporting both. Because that really means a lot. So thank you so much for supporting both. Peace to Infinite Content. What's up, Chichi Macha? What's up? Big Till, Tamara, Donnie Bonnie. Is Quaker in here tonight? I didn't see Quaker, but big up to Quaker as always. Big up to the good sistren, Court, and Latif, and Franny Francais. Franny. Now, I don't know, Franny. If somebody started, this Franny's one of my favorite white folks. But see, Franny don't have a platform like Jimmy Dore. Like, if Franny had a Jimmy Dore sized platform, I don't know how much I would take up for Franny online, because I'd be like, Franny, you got 1 million followers, subscribers. You don't need me to come up. I can't be taken up for white folks against black folks, even if it's my favorite white folks. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You cannot. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. No. You cannot take up for white folks against black folks. Even if it's your favorite white folks, but you cannot be taking up for even your favorite white folks against similarly politically aligned black folks. Does that make sense? Or is that fucked up? And let me be clear, Franny. I'm not gonna let nobody talk shit about you out here, Franny French. but Franny French, if you had a Jimmy Dore sized platform, I might let the people talk a little shit about you because you be all right. Because you be all right. If you had a Jimmy Dore sized platform and you lived in a $2 million mansion in the Hollywood Hills, I'd be like, them niggas is talking shit about Franny, but I think Franny be all right. I think Franny be all right. I don't think Franny needs me to come out here. I don't think Franny needs me to come out here and let the chopper sing while she chilling in a $2 million mansion in the Hollywood Hills. I think Franny gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Will, thank you so much for indulging me. Thanks to Will and Molly for all that you do. Fire Famers, we'll see y'all back here next week. Love you guys. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend, y'all.